New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Yeah, I'm back home, buddy. Let's go. What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick of Time show. Here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And guess what? The Knicks just won 4 games in a row, beating the Phoenix Suns 138 to 122. Bustle shots. OG Anunoby gives you 14 points, 2 steals, and 7 rebounds. Josh Hart gives you 19, 11, and 6. Who is this guy? Karl-Anthony Towns, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Big game for him. Mikal Bridges gives you 15 points. Jalen Brunson, he goes off with 36 points and 10 assists. Yes, he's getting those shots and diamond. And campaign chips in with 12. The Knicks had 10 steals. They were a beef in Phoenix. Scored 24 points off of turnovers and did their thing. And we're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. More good than bad today, and let's talk about it, all right? Before I talk about it, you already know the deal. I'm going to introduce you to my guy, all right? I got to introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend, the Latin assassin, Lee Escobedo. What's going on,
Lee? Jay Ellis, I'm hype as hell, bro. Very, very hype after this win. And I also want to start the show off by saying, special shout out to Jamal Crawford. Yeah. Really cool of an MSG. Leon Rose, Worldwide West, acknowledge and tap someone from the era that us millennials, me, you, Ebony, Ryan, Phil, we're all about the same age. People who experienced more bad than good, survived Zeke, survived Phil, survived Steve Mills, and now are watching its team that's on a way to winning a championship. Very cool to tap him as he represents that era. Isaiah Thomas, and he was really awesome in a booth today. I'm really going to look forward to learning more from him on his road games.
Yeah, Jamal Crawford was the delight. Always love hearing Jamal Crawford talk basketball, and loved him more playing. I ain't gonna hold you. Loved him more playing. I love the crossover. It was a funny moment when Jamal tried to compare Cat's behind the back to his old moves. Not quite close. Love Cat's handling ability, but not quite there, Jamal. But I get what you. This is why people love you. You just be throwing out compliments, Jamal. But shout out to Jamal. And shout out to these Knicks who punched Phoenix in the mouth early. It's exactly what you want to do when you're facing a team who is shorthanded without Kevin Durant, without Bradley Beal. You want to establish dominance early. Hit them with a nice backhand, blow, and dare them to get up. And that's pretty much what the Knicks did. The threes were flowing. We had 8 threes in the first quarter. The passes were going. And the Knicks were just clicking on all cylinders. Offensively, we're getting a little bit scary offensively. 44 points in the first quarter, scary. Once again, the Knicks hit the 30 assist mark for the game. This is becoming a trend. The Knicks will end up being a top 3 assist game in the NBA. And also, I feel like Jalen Brunson uses momentum from the Detroit game, carried it on to the Phoenix game, and had a magical performance. He hit 14 straight threes in Phoenix. This is not starting this game. This is coming from the last game into this game. He was phenomenal. And not only that, he was diming people up. Today is like, I'm starting to see the whole vision of what Jalen Brunson could be when he's on his game with the scoring and the assist. It's scary. It's getting scary hours for the league when Jalen Brunson is doing both, and I thoroughly enjoyed what he was doing to the Phoenix teams today. So offense looking scary. It's not even Halloween. Lee, I want to get your thoughts on the game, Jalen Brunson, or whatever you feel this offense is doing.
Oh man, I'm gonna throw out some hot takes here to start off. This is absolutely the best Knicks team that I have ever seen with my own 2 eyes. I think if you think about, again, I was not around for the Ewing days, but if you think about stats and historical markers and history and reference, I think this is the most talent this orange and blue squad has had since '73. There is so much talent, top to bottom. Even the 3 rookies are showing a lot of promise. And Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns have become maybe the best 1-2 punch in the NBA right now. They are two unstoppable players, 5 level scorers, and Karl-Anthony Towns, I think, is going to go down in history as the greatest Knicks offensive player of all time. I see it. He just the way that he scores is so there's no effort to it. Where Randall and Brunson, you kind of feel every jab step and pump fake, and the footwork. You see the mechanics in an hour spent in the gym to polish your game. Cat, it's just off rip. He catches it and he instinctively makes a move using his body and space and his height and athleticism to his advantage. He can score in every single way. I've never seen a pure score, not even Melo, can score because of Cat's size. It's not the bad, it's the physicality plus the bad. And that really makes Karl-Anthony Towns unstoppable. And I'm this whole show, I'm just going to be on a continuous rant about the offense. And I'll give you a little preview to all the different things I'm looking forward to talking about. With Karl-Anthony Towns, there's a lot to be made about the 5-out offense. You know, the teams at OKC plays 5-out with Chet. Boston plays 5-out with KP. But what I really think Cat makes this team special is how many cutters and slashers we are. It really makes us equally unstoppable getting to the rim as it does from beyond the arc. And we're the third best three-point shooting team in the NBA right now, averaging 38.3%. But in the layups, the easy lanes for Bridges and OG to cut, for Josh Hart to cut and pull up in the mid-range, Bridges to pull up in the mid-range, that is really unlocking a whole new dynamic of our offense, where if you look from Wizards today, bro, we had 18 out of 33 threes from above the break. The majority of our threes this game came from the top of the key. That's unusual for our offense, and it shows that we've taken another step in evolution of what this offense is going to be to really reach Warriors' death lineup proportions because of Karl-Anthony Towns' dominance in the paint, in the mid-range, and above the break.
Oh, well said. Well said about the cutters for sure are a big deal. I said this before and I'll say it again. OG Anunoby to me is benefiting more than anybody because of Karl-Anthony Towns' 3-point shooting ability. He's just been able to post up people right under the rim, play after play after play, to the point where you're going to see that from OG Anunoby like at least 4 games. And you know what? The broadcast and Jamal Crawford, they were talking about Cat at the 5 and Cat at the 4. And I feel like one of the biggest reasons for his explosion with the Knicks is definitely the Cat at the 5. I think when Cat is at the 4, he's kind of forced to shoot more threes because he have a traditional center. At least that's what it seemed like when he's with the Timberwolves. Because, you know, if you're posting at the 4, then you still had that 5 waiting to help, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. At the 5, though, you can really just have the opposing 5 at your mercy depending on what you want to do. You go outside, and if you give a head fake, the lane is wide open for you or anybody else on your team. Also, if you don't have it going, you can kind of hit a head fake and go to the post and go to work there. I feel like I saw some stats that talked about Karl-Anthony Towns' scoring and his output, and he's never had the scoring output in his career. And I think a lot of it has to do with him returning to the 5 and just having the freedom to be like the man, pretty much that 1-2 punch at the 5, and just the freedom to like, hey, I can definitely hit the 3, but when it's not working like it was in the first half of the game, I can just go to the hole. I can just post. And I think he's mixing it up offensively this year more than he has with the Timberwolves. And we're reaping the benefits. I'm loving what I'm seeing with the offense. 138 points is nuts. Nuts. And it's coming so easy. This is like.
Yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns is both replicating some of that advanced passing that Isaiah Hartenstein was giving us last year, and Josh Hart gives it to us as well. But there's also some change-ups that Tibbs has been doing to bring the ball up with Hart, which really allows Brunson to go in a catch-and-shoot mode and as a decoy. And Hart will bring it up, and then he'll either do a dribble handoff, which for an unstoppable curl with Karl-Anthony Towns, I don't know how you stop that, or he kind of gets to that elbow action and starts playing Draymond, which I mentioned before, where a lot of the secondary action is being created by Hart with Brunson as a catch and shoot shooter. I don't know how you guard that either, especially if you get into pick and roll with Sims or pick and roll with Karl-Anthony Towns or when Mitch comes back. That's right, lob threats and mid-range threats and push shots. But it's such a dynamic offense that it really makes me look at people on its Twitter but criticize Tibbs for being simplistic. They haven't really been paying attention to the evolution from year one to now.
Yeah.
He might have started simple, and we were one of the highest usage rates of isolation along with Philadelphia during this past 5 years of his coaching, but he's really added things every single year, both offensively and defensively, to make this team fit to the pieces that it has. And now that you have interchangeable pieces and you have players that can play in any system, that really the sky is the limit for just how flexible and malleable this offense can be, depending on what kind of defense is being thrown at. Today, we took 95 shots. 80 of them were either beyond the arc or in the paint. We shot 49% from beyond the arc, and we shot 60 points in the paint. That's incredible. 30 assists tonight. That stood for fourth in the NBA. And to top it all off, what makes us unbelievable is we're also fourth in free throw per shooting at 81%. All of those metrics of excellence and being way above the fold in top 5 in the metrics that really count in both fast paced and slow paced game means we can control the tempo at any given time and adjust to what defenses are throwing us, whereas simple box and one or a zone defense is not going to throw us off our rhythm anymore because we have counters to those counters to throw, and we become an unstoppable scoring machine with the level of cutting and motion we have off ball and on ball.
And to me, it's just the defense, man. It's just the we just gotta get middle of the road. If we get middle of the road, top 10, that's top 15, top 10, then we'll be good because the offense is so good. Like I don't expect this to be a top 5 defense like last year. I just don't. But like there's still certain things though defensively that bother me, that I feel like it's so easy to fix, but we're not fixing it. And I don't know what it is, but I'll even say this, like even in the first half when we were up by 20, I didn't like it. Like I didn't like it. And then but it's like I felt like I saw the vision defensively, but the Knicks just have to commit to it. Like I said, we got into the passing a lot. We hit them first. We got into the open floor because we got into the passing a lot. And we got a lot of easy buckets because of that. But on the other side of the ball, I felt like our rotations for three-point shootings quit more often than not in that first half. And it was a little disturbing. I was like, damn, you just I don't remember this from last year. I remember last year we were like really committed with our rotations. And this year, our wings like Josh or OG, or they would just stop. And I'm just like, what's happening right now? Is it confusion? Is it complacency because we're up 20? I don't know. But like, that's something that can definitely be fixed. I mean, we won the game today, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand like the stop and go on defense. That wasn't our identity last year, especially from like I mean, you know, you hear me complain about Cat's defense, but I'm like the wing defense, they just stopped. I don't understand it.
Yeah, to me, the biggest issues defensively is navigating ball screens and stopping ball screens, or playing against them, and specifically in two-man action between Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns. Statistically, the worst duo in guarding the pick and roll is when those two are the primary on-ball defenders. And Karl-Anthony Towns, we've mentioned it before, Tibbs is doing a lot of pre-switching in those situations where he's bringing OG up or Josh Hart up in place of Karl-Anthony Towns and having Karl-Anthony Towns on the weak side to provide an additional rim protection. But it's Mikal Bridges guarding the point of attack that has been, to me, the biggest reason for a lot of our defensive miscues. I think it's a combination of unfamiliarity with the rest of the roster, probably some miscommunication between what Tibbs is asking of him and what he's used to doing. Because now OG provides so much help as well. It's very different. We really need Bridges to guard the type of player I've been saying kills us for the last two seasons. That LaMelo Ball, Darius Garland, not necessarily a pure knockdown shooter, but someone that really can take you off a dribble and carve apart your defense because of their handle and their court vision. And that type of guy is who Mikal Bridges was brought in here to stop And thus far this season, he has not. I think he's looked better in a team scheme. Sometimes when we go to zone or we start throwing doubles, he's been really smart there in his hedging. But it's when he's asked to guard the point of attack in single coverage that he's gotten absolutely cooked. And a lot of those times when he's the most off is when teams start clawing their way back into the game, because it leads to a lot of wide open shooters, or it leads to bad doubles that end up having someone becoming a lob threat, or even a passer out of a dunker spot like Nurkic. That gets us in trouble. But overall, I think we've been better as a team. Missing Deuce and Bride hurts too, and guarding the point of attack with the bench unit, because campaign is overmatched because of his size, and he just doesn't have the same IQ that Deuce has, or a love for defense. But to me, Mikal Bridges, it's guarding the pick and roll. Mikal Bridges has caused us the most pain defensively.
I actually feel like Campaign's defense has been fine. Like I think there was at the point he was like switched on to Booker, where I felt like he challenged him pretty well. But you know what's funny to me? There was like a point in the second quarter where Cat, the typical Cat has his hands down on a driver. I'm just like, Cat, just put your arms up like 2 seconds. You don't have to wait until the guard gets all the way to the rim to attempt to put your hand up, or just drop back. Like, put your hands up a little bit. But I actually like, for long stretches, Cat's defense even today. Like he has the propensity to foul when drivers come. I feel like Booker tried to bait him into fouling him early in the first quarter. He didn't fall for it, and the refs didn't fall for it. I saw that in the fourth quarter as well, where Cat kind of challenged but didn't foul. Put his hands up. He actually used a rule of verticality in the fourth quarter. Cat. I actually kind of like Cat's defense more today in stretches than I have in general. So I'm gonna give props to Cat. I wasn't too frustrated with him. I felt like more frustrated with the wing defense today than anything. But that's the first step for us I feel like, is to getting better defensively and getting to a top 15 team and getting into champion contention for real. All right.
Yeah, I think because of the amount of injuries we have right now to our rotation, Tibbs is experimenting a little bit longer than he usually does to start the season, which I've liked. I'm glad that we're getting moments and flashes where Dadiot plays over 10 minutes, or in this case, Kolek played a lot of this game. I think that's healthy to really see what you can have in emergency situations. We'd have break glass and pull someone out, like we did with Alec Burks last year, or Bogdanovic. But I think once Precious comes back, and I heard that at some point Tibbs said that this road trip is when he comes back, I see our defense improving dramatically in all regards. Guarding the pick and roll, guarding the perimeter, switching on defense, even if it's just the 2 through 4. Rim protection, nets to Cat. I think he brings the same advanced metrics he brought to Sims and Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein and Randall when he was paired to 5 of the 4. His on-off numbers were through the roof, and that's a stat Tibbs values the most. I think him paired with Cat will actually make this a really solid interior presence, and I think the shot blocking numbers for Cat will go up too, because he'll be positioned more in his strength, which again is that secondary help. So to me, he's the key. I don't think there's any more shuffling or rearranging. It's just get Precious back and pair Precious with Sims, or pair Precious with Cat, and you're going to see our defense shore up.
Yeah, I agree. That's going to be huge, because Precious's weak side help is phenomenal. He's really good and very agile as well. So I can't wait to see that matchup. And it just kind of sucks, because I felt like his shooting was turning a corner before he got injured. Yeah, and that's one of those things that, that's one of those things that can mess up your rhythm. So I already know the defense for Precious is going to be there, but hopefully the shooting doesn't take too long to return, and he still has the confidence, because that's the thing I was really excited about when it came to Precious.
You know what the benefit is? He's coming back when we're like one of the most dominant offensive teams in the NBA, and he's going to be wide open, guaranteed almost every time he shoots. He's going to be the 5th option every time he's on the floor. So he's going to be, someone's doubling Cat or doubling Brunson or hedging on Bridges and OG on the perimeter. He's going to be wide open for his little floater or his offensive rebound, put back lob. That's the one thing about Precious. He finds it where he fits in the offense. He doesn't even need the ball to be effective, and I think he's going to be very effective without anyone guarding him.
He just has to shoot it. He just has to have the confidence to shoot it. Because and you know what? I'm gonna use Precious to keep bigging up Josh Hart, because to me the standouts to me today were Jalen Brunson. Oh damn! I feel like I haven't even talked about enough. Maybe freaking 36 and 10 is nuts. He had 20 23 and 7 in the first half and finishes with 36 and 10. He was just unstoppable. Complete game, top to bottom. Cat, of course, who took us home in the fourth quarter. But I feel like Josh Hart's minutes are really important. Like Josh Hart, to me, teams are gonna leave him open more times than not because of the history of him not hitting shots and not hitting threes. And he's hitting threes now. And I feel like the last few games, if you leave him open for three, dare him to shoot it, he will shoot it and he will hit it. So now you're looking like, oh damn it, we can't leave Mikal open in the corner. Josh Hart is shooting threes. Now you're looking like the whole starting five is shooting threes now, and now you're in trouble. And not only that, the extra possessions he gives you, and just the extra, the extra grittiness that he gets. Like there was a play where he got hit like 4 or 5 times trying to go to the hole and ends up with a scoop shot. And there was a play, he had a big three in the fourth quarter when Phoenix cut it down to, I think, 14. And it's like, this is one of those parts, it's like, okay, this could be the panic mode. This is make or break. We have to hit the big shot. Got left over for the big shot, hits the three. Josh Hart absolutely turned the corner for me. And again, flirting with triple doubles today. Shout out to Josh Hart, man.
He's a mini MVP. I mentioned it, like his stat line and his abilities outside of scoring. I mean, they mirror Joker or Embiid or Giannis or Luka. Like he has that level of rebounding, playmaking, passing, steals, blocks, defense, transition. Him in transition downhill, I think he's at Giannis level. Like he's super efficient going around the rim, and he draws a lot of fouls in those opportunities too. And he's a good free throw shooter, as I mentioned to our entire team being top 3 free throw top 4 in an NBA. So I love Hart. We're using Hart a lot more as a playmaker. I've mentioned him on the elbows, but he's also being one of the reasons why Tibbs, I think, is having to bring the ball up is that advanced passing. You're starting to see these leak outs between OG and Bridges sealing their man on mismatches in the paint. After like a quick score by the opposing team, Hart, better than anyone, can throw those passes. Maybe Cole it too. But Hart just has that quarterback arm that he's finding them. When OG is sealing his man in the paint and getting an easy 2 points. Those type of scores, as someone who's been on the receiving end of a lot of those, and when I play basketball, they destroy your spirit. You're like, damn, we can't even get set. Like that's how much momentum that team has. And Hart is being used in so many different special ways that, again, point to Tom Thibodeau's brilliance and credit his coaching staff. But the staff has changed throughout the years, and I want to give him his flowers because he's really made us really dynamic offensively, which I never anticipated once he was hired.
Yeah. And it's funny. I feel like usually when you see that, you'll see like centers post up when they get an early offense type of, and we're doing it with our wings, and you can tell they practice that. Like you can absolutely tell they practice that, and it's working for sure. So Tom Thibodeau, man, another wrinkle in the offense, in the details. That's
incredible.
Really, really, really helping the team gel together that quickly. Yeah. Yes. So, salute to the chat too. It's gonna be a quick one because it's late. I got work. But I'm glad to be up late with you guys back in studio, talk about Knicks win. Shout out to you guys who's joining the show this late at night. JB Deal, as Parker, Alexander. I saw President Boss in the building. My guy Picks for Timmy, and Cap Quest also is in the building. If you like the show, hit that like and subscribe. We're here after every game. Definitely gonna be working on bringing the Discord back as well, so definitely look out for that. Yeah, salute to everybody. Salute to the crew. I'm going, and shout out to Campaign Picks for Timmy. All right, double figures, hit threes. He only had one embarrassing play today. Only one. All right, only one air ball. Been a really a nice spark plug off the bench for us. Shout out to Campaign. I did that for Picks for Timmy.
As has my main man Jericho Sims, who had another awesome standout defensive performance. Really is mastering footwork. I think he's becoming more trusted by his teammates as a lob threat. Love to see him get mixed into the action on a fast break, but a beautiful lob by Campaign. Speaking of those two, I love Sims. I think he's fortifying our front court. And when Mitchell Robinson is back, we don't have a lot of different looks to throw at bigs. I've considered, like, does Sims make Mitch more expendable? But I remain on the train that we should never trade Mitch because there's a lot of bids that we have to get through in the East, and he is the best one-on-one defensive bid in my opinion. I think he's even better than Gobert when it's one-on-one against the Embiids and the Jokers. You don't need those guys, or when if we face Phoenix and they do a small with KD, like you just need him for the offensive rebounding, the rim protection. He's just such a great, smart big man, and I love that he's been with this team for so long, even before predating Leon Rose. So to me, it's important to keep him, but it does make Leon's options, I think, more diverse. And now you have Precious and Sims and Hot Porty and Cat and OG in that front court.
We'll see what happens. That's a lot of centers. A lot. Man. Yeah, Sims for sure. There was one play when I was watching it. I'm like, man, I feel like Sims is really underappreciated the way he's playing defense right now. There was one play where Phoenix had like a surefire fast break dunk, and Sims guarded like 3 people under the rim and deterred. They all drived and kicked, and Sims deterred them from shooting like 3 different times without fouling. And the Knicks ended up with a stop. And I'm sitting here looking like, yo, like this is one of those plays where there's like no flashy block to be like, wow, look at it. But it was like, I stood my ground, I used my presence, I rotated efficiently and quickly, and the Phoenix Suns weren't able to get a shot off. And because it wasn't flashy, it doesn't make Sports Center. But like that's the value. That's the value. So I
think I know what play you're talking about, and I think in every rotation that he did, he defended differently than the one before. It was like one was kind of like a deflection, and then he ended it with going up in the air with his hands up on some rim protection. And before that, he guarded someone one-on-one and it stopped him when they were facing him up. Yeah, I was like, damn, Sims, man, that you can tell he's watching tape. He's at least knowing what each player's at a certain time, what their strengths are and their go-to moves are, and he's responding accordingly. Which, man, the guy's been in the gym and been in the lab. I'm no longer shitting on Sims, man. That's my guy. Yeah. I might even make a fan account. Who knows if it's already made or it'll pop out tomorrow. Listen, I know no promises, but I'm telling you, Jericho Sims is my guy. I might even buy a jersey.
Oh man. Now, when I said I'm keeping my Sim stock earlier this summer, I'm looking good now. My Sim stock. My Sim stock is NVIDIA right now, right?
You bought all of mine. I sold you all my Sim stock, man.
And I'm sitting here like, woo. Oh man. All right. Salute to the chat.
I regret it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm eating my passing crow from Cat. So it is what it is. All right. I mean, anything else you want to mention? I feel like I talked about everything important.
I think the defense will shore up eventually. Precious again is going to help a lot with that. I don't think with Hartenstein out and Mitch just like, I hate to say it, but he's so injury prone. We're just going to defend differently. Oh, and with Randall gone too. I really think that we're going to be a different defensive identity. I don't think it's going to be so much traditional 5 drop, deep drop, rim protection. It's going to be more like what OKC is doing right now without having Chet, and then before that without having Hart. It's going to be playing more passing lanes, relying on deflections, cutting off the point of attack, the pre-switching that we talked about, mixing in zone. Hedging on pick and rolls, all those little things that we can do with that first line of defense on the perimeter. That's, I think, going to become our calling card. But again, it really just depends on Mikal Bridges improving his play and his IQ and decision making defensively, specifically guarding the pick and roll. Because I think teams are just going to, if that's working, they're going to spam us to death with that, and it's going to kill us in the playoffs. I'm not thinking about the regular season. I'm thinking about the playoffs. And the tape's going to be there. So I'm really hoping Mikal Bridges locks in and gets back to where he was with Phoenix.
Yeah. Defense and 3-point shooting, I think, is going to make us. It's 3-point shooting. I think 3-point shooting is fine. But it's just crazy to me to think that, he's been good for the corners, but bad, like, overall. So it's like, it's just funny to me, like, man, we're still, like, what are we, like, number number 2 in efficiency and 3-point shooting. With Mikal
Yeah.
having a down 3-point shooting year so far, I'm like, if he just gets the normal, jeez.
What's crazy, he's down, but he's only down like outside the corners. From the corners, he's shooting like a combined 46, 47%. Like he's sniping it from the corners, especially the right corner. It's if you look at the shot chart, it's all those above the break threes, which he's starting to take less of. I hope he eventually gets his confidence back and goes back up, but he's starting to maneuver where he's taking him a little bit, but that's where he's missing. But as long as he's in those corners, man, he is dangerous. And he can attack the closeout too and get to the hoop and do his little mid-range jab. It's badass. He's been really great in the mid range.
For real. And it's funny, Ian Begley even he tweeted something today about his above the break threes. And damn it. Can I even find that stat real quick? I'm not even sure. He was live tweeting it during the game. Can I even damn it. It said he made a big deal out of him hitting a couple of wing threes because he's missed. I think he's hit like something crazy, like 17% or something from the wing until this game.
Wow.
Something crazy. It was like, I think it was 17%. I'm trying to find the exact tweet from Ian.
Dude, that's unbelievable. 17%?
Let me see. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I found the tweet.
Oh,
it
my
says,
God.
Because Jay Edwards is off tonight, I'll say it. The wing 3 from Mikal Bridges early in the first quarter tonight versus Phoenix was significant. Bridges entered the game shooting 16%, 7 for 42 on non-baseline threes. So like he's been really bad on 3-point shooting outside of the baseline. And to your point, Lee, he's been shooting 46% on baseline threes. So like those above the breaks, those wing threes, he needs to improve that dramatically.
What I've liked is that as he amends that and he kind of figures out what his shot diet is going to be beyond the arc, he racked up 5 assists in the process. I like that. Like if you're in a semi, it's not even a slump, it's a semi slump. If you're in a semi slump, at least work as a decoy and get other guys involved in opportunities. And he did that. I mean, 5 assists from him, that's why we got 30 assists a game. Again, over 30, because it's a lot of his playmaking that's been a part of that. Very good decision making when he doesn't have a confidence in his shot.
Yeah, it's been the team. The team playmaking has been great. Brunson is passing more. Cat, already know having your center get 5 assists is going to be a big deal. The team has just been pretty unselfish, driving, kicking. A couple of times they're a little bit too unselfish, but I feel like the passing bug has hit the entire team. And
how about that badass pass Kola gave?
Yeah, that pass. Woo!
Sick.
Yeah, that was a sick pass. That might be that. Yeah.
Bruh.
No, my bad. That be the oop right today. That pass was sick. For sure. Do you have any oop picks?
Man. The 76ers lost again. I think they're 2-12 now. Bruh. Shout out Jared McCain for helping me get my first viral tweet. Was roasting him in that team meeting. It doesn't look like that team meeting really worked. I watched the game today before the Knicks started. Joel Embiid playing so damn lazy, just absolute foul hunting and foul baiting, flopping all over the place through a crucial turnover in the last minute of their game when they were trying to go on a run. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Jared McCain has actually been their best player for the whole season thus far. Paul George, guess what? Injured again. Same knee, same leg, same place. So I'm just assuming he's going to be out for another stretch of time. It's really embarrassing that team spent so much money this past offseason in trying to buy a contender, and it all fell apart. And you got your rookie who's playing it better than anyone. So, yeah, the process, man, it continues to suck.
Yeah, man. Trust the process. Man, there's more than one way to skin the cat because I feel like OKC and 76ers both trusted the process. And then one team seems like they did it better than the other. It's because wow. It just goes to show you it don't matter. It still just matters who that GM is. It still matters who that GM is and who's making decisions, who's trading Jimmy Butler and keeping Ben Simmons, who are you drafting, who's managing books, what type of players are you getting? Are you betting the farm on multiple injured? Like this GM thing is not for the faint of heart. It's bigger than just trusting the process. You got to be able to move and shake and maneuver as a GM in this league, because I feel like the Sixers have been in the same place for years, stuck in neutral.
Yeah, it's one of the things that makes Leon Rose such a damn genius. Not to just like be a simp for him, but I gotta give him his flowers. My guy has really created a team based on fit. Like I think people complained, like you're giving up RJ and IQ for 15 points a game in OG, or you're giving up 5 pits for 16 points a game. And Mikal Bridges, it's so much of it is fit and having the foresight to saying if these guys are together with the type of heliocentric attention that Brunson demands, what ceiling can they reach? The same was said for Josh Hart, Deuce and Bride, now Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, he's coming in and playing the absolute best basketball of his life. And that was another decision that was kind of derided because Randall had proven to be a great complement to Brunson. And you're giving up Devo. Where's the shooting coming from? He's like, listen, the shooting would come because of the openness and being able to be so spaced out. So Leon Rose, man, really intelligent team building.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll see how far it goes. We'll see how far, if he gets to the promised land with all his team building, because so far, so good. He's looking like a freaking genius out there.
Yep.
For sure. But yeah. So I call that the Uber lead.
Bruh.
76ers.
Fair.
I like the Ubras. When the 76ers are losing, we're always gonna cheer. So it's a ooh for me and bruh for them because it's so embarrassing. But I like it either way. Since Timmy calls me a hater, my bruh pick will be campaign shooting an air ball.
Bruh.
Great game, my campaign.
Yeah. Back-to-back great games.
Back-to-back great game, my campaign.
God give it to him.
Yeah, man. But that air ball, oh my God. Like I said, man, I don't know, because his shot is so weird looking when he shoots the air, when the shot bricks, or it's weird, or it's like an air ball. I'm just like, oh my God. But great game overall. All right, shut up. All right, cool. Timmy's went to sleep, but he's not even here listening to low key troll him. Whatever.
My favorite troll.
All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely join tomorrow, which is actually not tomorrow. It's actually today, because it is Thursday. Because Phil and the crew will be talking. Phil and the crew will be talking on the show Knicks Nightcap on KOT show. So definitely look out for the show tonight. All right. Lee, any last words? Thoughts?
No. I've really enjoyed doing this two-man game with you, homie. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like I'm growing as a co-host, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. Been a pleasure too. Been a pleasure.
My guy.
All right. Let them know where they can find you, sir.
On Twitter @_ Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. Go ahead and go to my page and my pinned tweet and give that one another like. Yeah, it's my first viral tweet. Hopefully my sense of humor continues and I'm able to hit a couple more bangers. I churned out a few today, but they only got like 10 or 15 likes. So I just have to go back to the drawing board. I feel like roasting is my specialty. So that tweet was a roast. I need to think in that mindset. Like, what's a funny roast?
What's a funny?
you might see one tomorrow, either from my account or my Sims Muse.
The Sim Muse roast account is crazy, man.
It's just gonna be roasted on hot party.
Sims Muse roasting hot. Oh my God. You know the war you will start on Knicks Twitter if you start a Sims Muse roasting hot party.
I feel like it's my destiny.
Oh man.
Let's go.
Man. All right. All right. Well, let me go follow the Sims Muse account.
Oh man.
I'm like publicly shaved. This is horrible. Text you. Good job, Lee. All right. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick and Tom Show on Instagram, and the Nick and Tom Show on Facebook as well. And we'll be here after every game talking Knicks basketball. It is Thanksgiving next week. It might be a weird schedule next week because I'll be back home, so I probably won't be in studio. I'm gonna try to work certain things out to at least have some resemblance of normalcy, like the sound effects and stuff. Hopefully that it gets worked out before Thanksgiving starts. So, but definitely appreciate you guys joining the show. Yeah, man. And we out of here. Oh, guess what? I hit this button now. As always.
Shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's the show. We out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.